Hi, today I'd like to give you our Japanese first reaction to one of the most controversial incident happened on a local city in Japan. So I'm going to give you an interesting story and giving you our Japanese influencers' comments, opinions posted on the bulletin board discussing this interesting story. So here is the story. So one day on the website of the official website of a local government, local prefecture, there's an illustration representing a typical Japanese woman, an ideal Japanese woman who is looking for the wedding partner for her wedding or her marriage. So and then the illustration shows her appearance with the description. For example, if you are a single woman who is looking for a partner for your marriage, you should have natural and moderate makeup, sophisticated makeup, and you should wear pants, and you should wear skirt and one piece, and you should show your transparent and a clear image. So with an illustration and pointed out the description and a very detailed description, so makeup and hairstyle and fashion items, clothing. However, and actually at the same time, the posted on the website, they published a brochure to hand out to the single women living in the prefecture. So it was happening on the local city in Iwate prefecture. So this is part of the government action plan, which was supposed to be admired by many single women who were looking for a partner for their marriage. However, people reacted very negatively. So on the SNS, for example, some people said it is totally typical discrimination against all women. And another said, so after seeing this ridiculous, inappropriate image, many young women run away from the Iwate prefecture. And another said, so this is one of the typical failure and wasting of the tax, wasting of public money. So it was big negative buzz. It became negative buzz. So and then finally, the government has decided that deleting this image on the website and stopped publishing the brochure. So it all started the project which has encouraged single women to find their partners for their marriage, for tackling the declining birth rate and declining the total number of marriage cases. So the local government started its activity since 2019, and continually they actually have published their brochure. So and this time it was overwhelming, So they didn't know that. They didn't expect this negative result. So typical the prejudice, and many people said and were so disappointed that why the government done such a big mistake and made us so disappointed. Okay, let's take a look at the Japanese influencers' comments, opinions posted on the bulletin board. Okay, the first influencer said, actually, it was not so negative campaign. So, of course, there were several people to react negatively. However, due to the appearance on the top news, it became bigger and bigger negative campaign, And eventually it has ended up all cancellation. So it's really hard for us to make the judgment what is appropriate, what is not. So this is just a typical illustration. Okay, the next influencer said, maybe the point here is that the government used their public money, meaning our tax. So that's why people didn't like the idea. So we can imagine that people liked the idea itself, to the government supporting the single woman or man for looking the best partners for their marriage. However, the approach hasn't appropriate, but it has been very difficult because it's a sensitive topic and